Salutations, Utopians. Hope all is well in your world. Just finished up watching the Aces and Dreams finale against for the WNBA. Great ending. But what I want to talk about is right now the news about the MVP. Um, and one of my gripes as a content creator, I learned in the basketball side of things. Everything's Gucci for me in other sports, but in the NBA, I've noticed starts with Shams this morning just before 7 Pacific time uh, announcing uh, the MVP award. Congratulations to Shai Gilgeous, becoming the 14th player, I believe, to win back-to-back MVPs, uh, and one of the handful of guards to do it. The interesting thing is there's a little bit of an outrage outpour and from fans about him doing this before Amazon Prime could, who are just now the official, I guess, considered the official host of the NBA playoffs, and him doing it on Twitter. And there's a running joke, Twitter is the first to the news. People find out a week after if you're not on Twitter, X, and so this reason. First and foremost, let's break it down. Shay, there's a lot of attention. I don't know if it's because of the market, but Shai Gilgeous was going through the same thing that Jaylen Brown was experiencing with Jalen Williams. Uh, Except for whatever reason, I guess the masses just assumed the Thunder were going to figure it out. I don't know if it's because they're the defending champs or what, but them them finishing in first with often injured Jalen Williams this season. I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was because Jalen Williams going into the season was not expected to get injured, but for whatever reason, he missed 49. Not for whatever. He missed 49 games. Jason Tatum missed 66 games this year. I guess everyone knew Jason Tatum was already. I can't speak for the masses, but everyone knew Jason Tatum was going to be out to start the year. Jalen Williams just kept breaking down during the regular season, missing 49 games. Um, So, Jalen Brown still led the Celtics to a top seed in the East, one of the top seeds at least, and top records in the league. Now, don't get me wrong, Boston has a phenomenal supporting cast. Peyton Pritchard's nothing to sneeze at. In fact, Reggie Miller called Caitlin Clark Peyton Pritchard, and everyone thought it was funny, and he proved to show everyone that he's one of them ones. Don't get it twisted. One of the best six men to ever play basketball. Derek White, every team could use a Derek White. And they had some great unexpected um, production from some guys left field. Nemus Keita finished top five this season in field goal percentage and was just on the brink of a double double every game. Garza had a great shooting experience over from Minnesota. Schneider as well. They had pieces. They had pieces. They had a great supporting cast that were able to hold up Jalen Brown, who won a Finals MVP. And so, but Shai Gilgeous pretty much was working with the same type of conditions in OKC. AJ Mitchell is emerging now in the postseason. It'll be interesting to see how they handle that situation, how it plays out. Is he, left for the expansion draft? Is he, sign and trade like on some James Harden? Some people are referring to a Jalen Brunson situation, but either way, Shai Gilgeous was one of them ones this year, averaging over 30, breaking Wilt Chamberlain's 20-point game consecutive streak. There's a lot to respect there, and definitely can't uh, be disappointed. However, Shams is catching a lot of heat online as the number one insider, and I don't. This is the plant the seed mentality that people lack in the basketball world. Um, and why I think it's such a toxic environment. You have to be very centered because although Amazon Prime has the exclusive rights to the announcement in terms of the presentation and so on and so forth, if you look, first of all, they're in their first season of hosting, being in the basketball world. And so they're building their following. They don't have right now the traction to to convey such a heavy message, something that is considered the pinnacle of basketball's history, the MVP award, right there with the championship. single greatest, arguably, accolade you can win, depending on who you are. But for the everyday fan, it's probably going to be the MVP. Some of the junkies will tell you most improved or defensive player of the year is the one that makes their boat float in this whole ecosystem. But for the average fan, it's going to be the MVP. Sometimes it's even greater than the championship. And uh, it's the, you know, I've come to experience there's two type of people in this ecosystem. People who tweet to push the game forward and people who are tweeting just for their own clout, their own movement. People like myself, I'm about pushing the game forward. You know what I mean? At all cost. And not at all costs, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like I'm about every time I send a tweet, I'm tweeting to people who don't even know ball. I try to bring people who are not everyday fans into the ecosystem, recruit new fans. A lot of people want to just tweet for clout, which means they're very tribal. And so, but you pay attention to the people who are disturbed by him tweeting this, because those are the people who tend to be the divisive individuals who are mad about and are not allowing the game to grow, and why it feels very difficult to break through or people to have opinions in this ecosystem, and why so many people get pushed away when the game is always should be looking to add new perspective clients. It's just like business. You want to always try to be, even if you don't have room for anymore, you still should be wanting to be courted. You should be wanting to be desired. And when you're in business, NBA is a business, sports is a business, and people who want to just keep certain tribal stuff don't understand that. Oh, if you leave it to Amazon Prime, well, go look at their numbers whenever they show highlights, whenever they post their segments. They are in the beginning, infant stages of growing their page. A guy like Shams naturally is going to bring more discussion, more topic, more conversations. Unfortunately, this is one of the subcategories. Oh, who does he think he is to be the one to reveal it? But uh, he has a larger crowd, and people need to respect that. You know what I mean? And I just wanted to put the quick message out, because this is something people need to think of if you're going to be a content creator in any niche, let alone sports. That's how this thing works. You know what I mean? The person with the larger following, whether you like it or not. Melo rolled out his new coaching opportunity through NBA Central, who has over a million followers. It's just the game you have to play. He's on Amazon himself. Was he on Amazon or NBC? One of the two. And he's rolling out, they're also rolling out their following. NBA on TNT. The TNT took their following, and now they're covering all sports online after Shaq and Chuck have evacuated, were transferred over to ESPN. They took their years of archives, deleted it, and now are covering all sports: women's basketball, Olympic sports, skiing, hockey, everything, in rebranding. That's just how the game works. It's a long grind. They're taking their subscription base. You're gonna convert it, but that's all this is. People, oh man, how could he be the one and this and that? Oh, he revealed the WNBA. Who in the WNBA has more clout than he does? Obviously, the NBA owns the WNBA now too, vast majority of it at least, over 60%. So who better than the person with the largest platform to broadcast it, to push the game forward, to bring more awareness, to make it more, um, I don't know, for lack of a better term, glamorized. That's the way this thing works. People got to grow up, man. You know what I'm saying? This and pay attention, because I'll tell you what, someone like me, I'll use somebody else's video footage because I'm not a tech guy. I'm not even used to. I was raised to not even speak on phones and text on phones. So all this is very. Don't people understand how stressful it is for me to even put out a tweet? I know what I'm trying to say, but forming a tweet is extra stress on my brain. Making use the right words, send it at the right time, pick the right clip. That's why I've had to resort to making my own bootleg clips from my, because but you don't know if they're even going to put out the clip. And so, but I'll tell you, there's times I'm using a certain page's video to put out a bigger message, and they'll delete the video because they're sour. I ratioed them in following or likes. And it's like, nobody trying to make you look bad. If you were using your brain, this is free promo to help you get off the ground and get more visibility. But people will sit up there and delete their video, and now all I got is my text because they're mad I outshined them on their own tweet. It's not about that. I'm one of the first ever sports content creators in the world history. I was part of AOL dial-up era. So if you think if you in your feelings, guess what? I got news for you. I'm all that's I'm way past that already. I already know I'm in the elite 1/10% of content creator because my ideas. I'm a real think of it like a ball player who has shot creating capabilities. Some people are just these sports aggregators. They're like spot up shooters. I'm a real shot creator. I got real unorthodox things to say. I don't say ordinary things. So for me, if you're getting caught up in being outshined, I got news for you. You already gonna lose that game. And I'm not trying to sound cool or anything. I'm just keeping it real. It's not even close. I'm just sitting here trying to push the game forward because it did so much for me through treacherous times. And there's a lot of people that interfere. And there's a lot of that mentality where people are just too busy worrying about their clout. And it's like, you think bigger, you get bigger. You want to be all insecure. Oh, he's making me look bad or he's making me look smaller than that. Guess what? It won't be me the reason why you're not going to shine in the big picture in the long run. Your activity, the seeds you plant are going to determine your outcome. And a lot of people out here are planting weird seeds and don't understand why they're not going to get the results that they want in the long term. If somehow you think you're going to be on TV by plagiarizing other people, I see it all the time on social media. You got these people with large followings, and all they'll do is just scour to look for the top comment and then act like it's their own on their page. People are not dumb. They're watching what you're doing. You know what I mean? Same people who are there's people on that app who are benefiting from the fact that Twitter wants to be a more video app. I guess they're trying to go, which was inevitable. They were going to be on a crash course with YouTube sooner or later, and a lot of these video merchants think that they're going to start talking the game and people want to hear what they have. No, you're the technology guy. Post the highlights, stay out the way. Nobody's trying to hear what you have to say about the game. You made your following by posting video clips. Don't try to be an analyst. You know what I'm saying? That's just how this shit is. If you don't start off like that immediately, breaking down the game with high points, and then guess what? Nobody trying to hear you. Conversely, people who try to play both sides and be all neutral. If you're going to be you're going to have to go through the punching pains of people not liking you. I had strong opinions about Luca and Dallas, saying they made the right thing. Lost a lot of Dallas support. That's what comes with the territory to talk about the game at a high level. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way it is. I say a lot of things that disrupt you. That's what comes with being a content creator. If you really are him, if you really like that, and I'm about teaching good quality basketball ethics. If I have to tell you that the Mavericks made the right decision, and that could piss off Laker fans, that can piss off Mavs fans, but guess what? You know I'm talking real. Even if you don't agree, you know I come with real conclusions. This is what the ecosystem looks like. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna have to stand firm and be strong in this thing because it's not easy. You know what I mean? Period. Look at how narrow-minded people are. They don't understand that he has the larger following. This is about promoting the game, the overall ecosystem, and uplifting it. It has nothing to do with about who should have announced it for any of that. This is bigger than that. Utopians, quick tidbit on that. I'll try to do better next time. Global out.